Alright guys, let's get this party started in the lower right hand corner, spawning as our duo coming from. Well, this is already interesting. Alright, so player one that lost in tonight's match, Cold Mushrooms, aka Chinese opera singer. Let's just call it, hell, let's just call it singer. They're doing some proxy shenanigans at this very moment. Maybe it'll help out, maybe it won't. Who the hell knows? We're about to find out. And in the lower right-hand corner, it's going to be a new player accompanied by someone else, and I have no way to check the chat logs, do I? No, I do. It's, ooh, I know this person. Sakya. Someone from this team I know. Okay. These are two players that have not played yet for the evening. Alright, let's put it that way. But for the time being, we've already got some proxy shenanigans on the way from our opponent, or rather our blue Protoss player, and this looks like it's not so much geared to be a game-ending build just yet. That Overlord at this moment is not rigged to come out in this peculiar direction, although it may eventually. Where's it going? Is it gonna stop here or what? All I see is a rally point. Oh boy. If it keeps going that way, keeps getting redirected, gradually redirected. Oh snap, it was clicked over here. I saw red clicking. Uh-oh. Dramatic music even tuned in. Perfect synchronization with this. It's been spotted. But it's going to be hatch first? Well, this is going to take perfect micro. In case you guys are wondering what we're watching right now, it's Heart of the Swarm Archon mode. Let's put it that way. Alright, so Chrono Boosted Zealots sees one coming out, and it's not going to be an all-in play. In fact, the follow-up is a Forge Fast Expo back at home. But, I mean, with two players microing against one Zealot that can only be microed by a maximum of two players, well, I think this kind of goes without saying that this is going to be something very difficult to make work if you're our Protoss player. At the moment, that spawning pool is very close to finishing, but even so, we do see drones falling. Nice rotation. Very nice rotation, I might add. And it looks like, yeah, now's the time to go in there and make the best of those Zealots. You've got 3 lings on the way from the main, 3 pairs of lings on the way from the main, and 1 more pair that's going to come from the natural. So what's very beautiful about this play coming from our blue Protoss is that he's forcing his, oh my god, no. Is he really? Oh man. Okay, well, I think we all know what's gonna happen here. He's getting, oh, he cancels, pulls out. What he's trying to do at this very moment is force his opponent into overproducing on lings. And when he does that, he's not going to have, this is the basic gist of the situation. He can make nothing but lings right now. He has to make nothing but lings because his opponent's just going to make nothing but Zealots. And if he keeps on making these lings, he's not going to have enough drones to keep up with our Protoss. See, look at the worker count right now. He's already at 13 for the moment. There we go. I mean, like, the sooner he takes us down, this is better, but it's not happening at this very moment. At the same time, he should also be concerned for getting those Zealots back home alive so that he has to use them later on, but Queen's coming out to snipe these guys. Yeah, kind of goes without saying. The situation that we're in. Alright. Queens are very bulky, very tanky, full HP, low DPS Marines, essentially. I believe they can take on 2 Marines without upgrades. Well, that's an interesting misclick, but it looks like we're going to have our Protoss duo taking advantage of this situation, taking down all the lings again. And guess what? This is the result of your greed. He spent 8 larvae on workers. Now he's going to pay the price by losing even more workers. Dirty Protoss shenanigans. And yes, the production tab is on for those of you who are just now tuning into this, but I don't have the proper mod installed to see each player's income. Those Zealots still alive. Some of them are heroes with 7 kills, but even heroes can die And it looks like these guys are going to be shut down for the cause of ire. 26 workers versus 30. Okay, so I mean, like, right now, Zerg's not in too terribly bad of a position. It's just that he wants to get away with eventually taking this down. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? Yeah, I would think so. Just tagging that. And for the time being, our Protoss not floating too terribly much in the way of gas. Our Protoss duo, this say. Oh, here we go. 8-minute third base. That is far from Criterion, and double gases at the natural have finally been taken. Here we go. Boom, pylon, gonna fall. And that is one persistent Protoss. This has been here now for 8 minutes in the game. Just to give you guys some perspective, or at least not 8 minutes in the game, but for a very long time, let's put it that way. Investment that paid for itself. The even dirtier thing about this is it was 2 birds with 1 stone. Once you throw down your gateway, you're allowed to get the most basic tech up that you need as a Protoss, and that most basic tech up would be the cybernetics core. That being said, he's able to get to tier 2 tech just a little bit faster, which means he's got the ability to choose a Robo, a Stargate, or a Twilight Council, so it's a little bit sooner in the game. But as it is right now, he hasn't made that choice. We've got +1 finishing up. There it is, Twilight Council. And the production tab, for those of you just now tuning in, is still broken. That's because of the mod that's going on here. But checking the comparison between both of our players, I do want to say that it feels like Protoss is just about even with Zerg at this moment in the game. If that gateway had gone undetected, it could have done a whole lot more damage. Really, it could have. And for those of you who are wondering why the production tab is broken, it's because, well, how do I say this? This is Archon mode for Heart of the Swarm. Creep spread, pretty good for this stage in the game, given the way our Zerg started out. And now our Protoss is moving out. Are there any tech ups that we might have missed along the way? That is Blink going down. This reminds me of the Brood War days, I think. Where you have to click on structures just to see what's in production. Hey, it's Brood War for Starcraft 2, Kappa. Third base not fully saturated just yet, but I don't think that's necessary given the tech that we see our Protoss going for. I can't tell what upgrades our Zerg has just now. Movement speed, he does not have Glio Reconstitution, and it's not in production at this moment. If he did have it in production, it would be one hell of a... how do I say this? It would be one hell of an advantage for him. Here we go. Zerg is piling up everything that he's got. Right now, that is a very big army supply difference, at least in favor of our Zerg. But at the same time, going for a bit of a cut on his worker count. Whoa, 57 to 45. Definitely the thing, how do I say this? The play with the opener that has given our Protoss the lead is, of course, very transparent. Simply by the merit that he was able to get his cybernetics core just a little bit faster, and also his upgrades. We only see Zerg now going for +1 Carapace. Hydras are going to be in the mix very soon, and that's going to make it even easier to defend against this. This is the first +1 anything we see coming out from our Zerg. We don't have metabolic boost just yet. This is going to be a very difficult hold for our duo from Zoo. These guys are going to have Blink. They're going to be able to hop into the main. They won't. And it's amazing to note that Zerg is not supply blocked just yet. This is a 40 army supply difference. If we see our Protoss able to pull it off, I would not be surprised to see this happen at all, because what you are talking about in this situation is not just Zerg having lower DPS output, but having lower DPS output coupled with surround area or surround space, whatever you want to call it, surface area to attack with, that just decreases the overall damage output of an army. If he's able to get a full-blown surround, that's more power to him. And I think he could actually do that and totally wreck some face here. Because this is a very brave Protoss army. There we go. He pulls back at the last minute. Some of those sentries will fall, 1 or 2. But at the same time, this is a worthy exchange for our Protoss. He's got the upgrades that he needs to fight this head on. Well, so he did. He doesn't have... He's not using his Guardian Shield. There we go. He finally does. And now's the time to retreat if there ever was one. That is a full energy Mothership Core. He's trying to exchange evenly with his Zerg opponent, and he's exchanging favorably, yes. But this is going to take time for it to really pan out and go even. He's gotten started on his third base as a backup plan, and that's actually meant to be a conversion that couples with this attack. It could potentially be a backup plan. Once his third base is fully saturated, he should be tacking on 4 more gates for a total of 12 altogether, and then pushing into this even harder. Oh, and look at that drop in the background. That's gonna rustle so many jimmies. Oh boy. Trying to break away these rocks. That will at least, you know, when he's ready to retaliate, that'll open up some routes. But the longer we see our Protoss wait, the harder this is gonna get. He's making sure that he can see his army on creep. That much kind of goes without saying. He's got to be very careful here. There we go. Force field's coming back. He's gonna get some Zerg for his time, but again, it's not everything. There we go. Nice drop of the third. Gonna try and take those guys to the natural, and he might succeed in that regards. Uh-oh, counterattack. But this Colossus back at home. The real question is, do they have extended thermal lance? I don't know. There's the mass recall back home. I'm not entirely sure what tripped that. But at this point, our Protoss is definitely further ahead. He's got his +3 attacks. Our Zerg still sitting at +1, +0 as far as missile attacks are concerned. And I can't show you guys this with greater detail because the production tab is broken with the HOTS mod for, excuse me, the Archon mode mod for HOTS. Let's just call it that. Boom. That drop, not getting too terribly much done, but ooh, dividing up armies, that is one hell of a way to take a fight. $40 supply difference, and Protoss can fight this to some extent head on. The best way to do this, however, is to get more tank in the army. Yes, those stalkers can blink, but at the same time, just by having some zealots present with this, you're creating a meat shield that Hydras are forced to deal with before they can get to the more valuable targets like Colossi and Stalkers. Colossi, yes, are far more valuable, but in this situation as Zerg, you would need either a Spire, which, speaking of, is in production right now, or Vipers. And to get Vipers to work with that, well, Ugh, geez, still alive. To get Vipers in the mix, you'd need Hive Tech, which is not something, not something our Zerg has just yet. This is going to be a very uphill battle for our Zoo duo going up against the TouHou project in this situation. Now, I'm just a little bit surprised as to why they didn't get +1 armor a little bit sooner. At any rate, supply is climbing from both sides. I mean, Zerg is only slightly ahead in this position, but there's no way. Oh man, they're cut off here. Are they going to go for the third base? There's an aggressive blink forward from these Stalkers, and getting a Colossus for their time will be quite worth it, but it doesn't happen, and another aggressive blink forward. Only a handful of Stalkers are lost there compared to the hordes of Zerg that were exchanged for in the process. More and more Hydras falling in the background. Fourth base was taken down by some DTs and Zealots. We never saw the Dark Shrine finish because the production tab again is broken. I'm not just some noob who doesn't know what he's doing. But it looks like this might be a game that the TouHou project will be able to take versus Team Zenith of Origin. Yes, he's losing Stalkers, but at the same time, it's a worthy exchange. And the third base is being mopped clean by these Dark Templar. There it is, the GG coming out from Lior, Sakya. He concedes. And that is going to put 1 point on the board for Team TouHou Project. The underdogs in this matchup. Oh, boy. So